How's it going, everybody? I'm Steve, and welcome to my channel. So tonight I have a new Criterion haul. I don't know how I keep pulling these through. I guess I really love collecting Criterions. I love watching videos where people show their collections, and most people do, like, in July and August they do the Barnes and Noble 50% off sale. But you can actually buy Criterions through the Criterion website and through Walmart.com and Amazon.com, and so lots of ways to get them if you really like to collect them. I also like to collect used copies as well, because they sell decent price, usually about $20 or so. So I just love doing it, and I've kind of gotten addicted to it now. So I don't know. I usually, if I have at least two or more to show, I'll do a video every month. I don't know if I can pull this off forever, but I certainly enjoy doing it. So as long as I continue enjoying it, I'll continue. So I've got 5 titles to show tonight. Really excited. I've got a couple on this that really show I'm going down the Criterion rabbit hole, because they're titles that were both blind buys, which I haven't done a ton of those, but after getting so many recommendations, I take a chance, and I've liked what I've gotten so far. But the first one, this is one I actually owned on Blu-ray already. It's rare when I upgrade my Criterions, usually from DVD to Blu-ray. But in this case, I really wanted to get the Criterion. But it's Stanley Kubrick's Dr. Strangelove. I'll leave out the rest of the title. You know the rest of the title of this, but it has a lot of the special features that were on the Blu-ray I had. It was like the 45th anniversary Dr. Strangelove, but actually has a lot of new ones, new special features that were just made for Criterion. But this is outstanding. It looks great, even black and white. It looks really good. Obviously, this was released in 1964. It's spine number 821. Starring the late great Peter Sellers. He plays 3 roles in this movie. It's amazing. Sterling Hayden, I know him from, he was actually in another Stanley Kubrick movie, which is The Killing. And he's also in the first Godfather movie. He was like the crooked cop in that movie. It has George C. Scott. He's fantastic in this movie as well. And Slim Pickens, he plays the pilot, King Kong, I believe they call him. And then this movie actually was the debut for James Earl Jones as well, his first movie. So I think he may be one of the few people that's actually still alive that was involved. Well, I'm sure I think there are some people still alive from this, but as far as the actors, I think he's one of the few that I know is still living. He's like 91 now, so so a lot of those people in 1964, that a lot of those people would be pretty up there in age if they were still alive. So. But I love this one. I had to get it again. I think I had it on DVD as well as one time, and then upgraded to Blu-ray, and then upgraded to Criterion Blu-ray. So glad I did. This one, the next one, number 2, is one that I have seen everybody recommend. It seems to be part of everybody's collection, and I was not disappointed with this at all. And it's 12 Angry Men. This is released in 1957. Spine number 591. I couldn't believe the cast in this. Just watching it. Henry Fonda. He was already kind of a star at the time. A lot of these actors became stars later. Like Jack Warden, E.G. Marshall, Ed Begley. He's the father of Ed Begley Jr. If you've been watching Better Call Saul this year, he's been in on that season, this most recent season, quite a bit. He was on previous seasons as well, but he's been on this one a lot. And his father, Ed Begley, also has Jack Klugman. If you remember watching the TV show Quincy, he was on that show. But outstanding though. I thought, well, can it really be as good as people say it is? And I thought it really was really good. So a lot of great points were made in this movie, and it's outstanding. It's directed by Sidney Lumet. So I loved it. I can see why everybody has it in their collection. So I have it as well now. Next one, this is another one that a lot of people have. It's The Great Escape. This is released in 1963. Spine number 1027. This is outstanding too. This has a great cast and has the Indiana legend Steve McQueen. He's outstanding in this. James Garner, Charles Bronson, Donald Pleasance, James Coburn. Outstanding. This is a long movie, but I'm really glad to finally got to see this as well. I'm starting to see a lot of Steve McQueen's movies. I'm going to get The Blob at some point. It's on my list to get at some point. I've seen Bullet, The Towering Inferno. He's outstanding. He was Steve McQueen was from Beech Grove, Indiana, which is part of. I live in Indianapolis, and Beech Grove is part of Indianapolis. It's like one of those small towns that when Indianapolis expanded years ago. I mean, probably in the I don't know what the 40s. I don't know exactly when it was, but at some point Indianapolis started to grow, and Beech Grove was kind of annexed into the Indianapolis into Marion County. So he's a legend here, though, and he was a star. At the time, he was a big time star when he did this. And he was I'm finding out more and more how much people really love Steve McQueen, and he's great in this movie. So next one, actually, this is one I upgraded from DVD just recently, and it looks great. I hadn't seen it in a while. Forgot all the F-bombs in this movie. This is a Hollywood production, but this Election. This is released in 1999, so it's one of the newest ones I have. It has starring Matthew Broderick and Reese Witherspoon. This is Spine number 904. So watching this again, this has some exclusives, Criterion special features to it as well. Alexander Payne, I used to be a huge fan of him, and then I saw Downsizing, and it kind of ruined everything, And he had a movie called Citizen Ruth that was his debut movie came before this one. That one didn't love it, but I really love the movie Sideways. Really love that, and I think Sideways should be released on Criterion. I think at some point. I believe it should be. But about Schmidt, I didn't love that one. I thought it was okay, good cast in it. The Descendants with George Clooney, I thought that was kind of a really depressing movie, but it wasn't bad. Nebraska, I thought was okay, pretty good. But this one definitely is worthy of Criterion, of anyone's collection, I believe, and really loved it. It had been a while since I had seen it, and I'm glad I upgraded it from DVD to Blu-ray on Criterion. So, really great one. Last one. This one was a blind buy, and I'm a huge fan of this director, and this is something I would say that you would have to be a big fan of this director to get this. I wouldn't recommend it to everyone, but it's David Lynch, the Art Life, released in 2016. So I guess this one's the newest of these five titles. But this is Spine number 895. Like I said, this is something that unless you're a fan of David Lynch, I don't know. It's a documentary. Kind of gives his early life up until he did Eraserhead, and at this point I think he was about 70. I think he's 76 in real life, but I think at this time he was around 70, and I would say that it's kind of slow. I'd say it's for the hardcore David Lynch fans. That if you want to get some information about him, or 88 minutes, but it's just like really slow and. It's interesting, but I just unless you love Criterion's or love documentaries or you're a huge David Lynch fan, I would say you'd probably go without this movie, but it's directed by John Wynn. And he hasn't really done a lot of movies. He hasn't directed a lot, but and one thing I did find out while researching this was David Lynch earlier this year with Criterion. They did a 4K scan on his movie Inland Empire, and that's I believe it's going to be released sometime in 2022. So look forward to another David Lynch movie if you're collecting his movies. I've got them all so far. Eraserhead, Elephant Man, Twin Peaks, Fire Walk with Me, Mulholland Drive, Blue Velvet. So. if you collect David Lynch, you might look out sometime this year before the end of the year and get Inland Empire. So that's it. Please leave comments. Let me know. Do you own any of these movies, and do you like any of these movies? Do you like the art life? Was that something that you actually liked when you saw it? I just, like I said, it was kind of slow. It was interesting, but kind of slow. But please put a like in this video. Really would appreciate that, and especially people in the Criterion community to just let me know what you think, and please consider subscribing as well. So, and thank you, and have a good night. Bye.